When we transform our thinking and invest in the restoration and protection of forests and wetlands, we can drive business innovation and create new opportunities for rural communities. Right now, the Pee Dee Indian Tribe is adopting the community conservation model and is advancing non-extractive, regenerative, economic solutions. This model allows impacted communities to transition towards a non-extractive economy by helping them build climate resilience and safeguarding them against the most damaging impacts of climate change, pollutants, and dirty industry.
The Pee Dee Indians has finally found home. This is Pee Dee land. And it's been a long time since we had home. We haven't had no home, but this is ours. Can you imagine coming out of town and boom, you're gonna see a village, an Indian village over there. Ain't been here since 300 years or 200 years. An Indian village is gonna be there where it once used to be. And people gonna be out there doing things that they did 200 years ago. Got a long ways to go, but this is it, we started.
They will be here as caregivers to this earth and caregivers to this territory. And it's important to make that affirmative statement so that we are moving forward with that kind of confidence in our commitment of who we are and what we can become. And rather than ripping through the earth and leaving scars on the earth through extractive industries and other forms of extractive businesses, there are other ways that we can live as well and probably better by using regenerative economic practices. And I think that's what we're seeing in this particular project. And I believe it's something that we're seeing being talked about and encouraged across the globe.
We're bringing the tribal government of the Pee Dee tribe back to its home in McCall. McCall is the original home of the Pee Dee Indian Tribe government. And this building that we're dedicating today is our Pee Dee Indian Educational Center. And it gives us a footprint and an establishment back in McCall for which we can work to grow the tribal government and aid the community in economic development as well.
Well, we've had this land for a while, but this is the first time we've ever had anything built on it. So this building is something that's been lacking for a long time. Now that we've got it here, we've got this project with the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters is corn, beans, and squash. You make a hill to plant them on, and you plant the corn first, and as the corn grows, when it gets up to about 4 leaves, then you plant the beans. As the beans come up and the corn grows higher, the beans start climbing up the stalk of the corn. Then you plant around the bottom, you plant the squash. Okay, as the squash comes up, the squash has big leaves, it covers the area around. It keeps grass from being as bad, and it keeps the moisture in there.
We're growing food and creating business opportunities, outdoor recreation, keeping our forest standing, and doing all of that together in partnership with the tribe.
We're going to do some things today to try to bring a little bit of our culture. We're going to do some dances today down at the new village that we've started. And when you go down there, you can check out our new hut that we built. And we've got a dance arena, and we've got a mound that's in progress. And then on the other side, next to the wetlands, you can see the new boardwalk that we've started, which eventually will go out into the wetlands. And come January, we're going to start a new phase with the language. All our people hopefully will be able to learn our language again.
We decided to try to reproduce a Mississippian-era village, which was an 800-year period from approximately the year 800 to 1600, and it's categorized by platform mound and maize agriculture and specific pottery styles. We decided to build the mound to reflect that. These were also built near water, and we have a cypress lake here. And we want to expose our own tribal citizens to the traditional culture, and we want to share that with the outside community to give them an opportunity to come here and see what we do.
The lodge is key. It's the most central aspect to indigenous cultures because it's the one thing that really cements us to each other and to where we are. It represents a lot of different things. You know, when we're in there, it's you're not on the earth anymore, really, but you're in the whole universe. You're in that place of creation.
We also want to have tourists come and learn about our culture. We plan to have workshops set up for people to learn all kinds of things about us: pottery making, basketry, arrow making, bows, just you name it. We hope to cover all the aspects of our culture.
The Indians have always been a steward of the land. The conservation of the woods, the wildlife, that is just such an integral part of our culture. If you can't separate the Indians from the woods and the culture and the wildlife.
Let's work with nature because nature will take care of us. Basically, these projects just help the Pee Dee Indian tribe, but it's going to help the counties, the communities, and everybody around them. Because projects like this will bring visitors to the area that will really enjoy the culture. They will come to recreate. They will come to hike. They will go to the Pee Dee River to kayak. Generate an economy that is based in ecological restoration, community protection, and justice, which is essential for us to really move forward. Community-based solutions like this is alternative to not extractive economy, which what I want to say is working with nature, not against it.
The Pee Dee tribe with this land is choosing to protect it instead of exploit it for profits. This is really critical in a region where the rate and scale of industrial logging is 4 times that of South American rainforest. So the Pee Dee tribe is showing tremendous leadership, helping us to reimagine what our relationship with the land could look like and how we could coexist with nature in a way that is better for our communities and is better for the economy of the community here. So by establishing this beautiful piece of land as a cultural center and as a place where people can come and enjoy nature and experience outdoor recreation, they're actually leading the way in this region and helping to identify an opportunity for transforming the economy to one that can actually coexist with standing forests. And what's really critical about this piece of land is that there's a big swath of wetland forest on the edge of it. And our wetland forests are so critical at this moment in time for things like natural flood control at a time when our communities are experiencing some of the worst impacts of flooding. They're critical for providing clean drinking water for millions of people who live in this watershed. And so their value left standing is way more valuable than when they're logged. So for the Pee Dee tribe to be doing this project at this moment in time is really sending a signal out to the rest of the world that we can relate to the natural world in a different way.
You know, bottom line, in order to have a future for our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, we must reestablish our relationship with our environment and with the earth.
The devastation is being done to our ecosystems, biodiversity as the climate crisis increases. We're seeing more inland flooding, we're seeing more hurricanes, more tornadoes, and so we have to restore what's being destroyed also by clear cutting and logging. People who live in communities like the Pee Dee Indian tribe know the problems, know the solutions. And what really is needed is what we saw today. People outside of the community providing the support and the resources necessary for communities to come up with solutions.
We are forgetting that we are all connected and that we are all one. Therefore, we need to start changing the deeply rooted social, political, and economic system that continues these patterns of racial, environmental, and habitat injustice. By listening to the more affected, our land, our ecosystems, and our communities.
Congressman Rice just this week had ordered a flag to fly over the Capitol in D.C. in honor of the Pee Dee Indians.
Trying to thank you people for what y'all done for this Pee Dee Indian tribe is overwhelming. We thank y'all to the bottom of our heart because we have moved up above water. We can breathe now.
I'm not going to live that long to see everything done, but my kids will, and their kids will. I'm proud of our people. I'm proud of people that care enough about us to say, hey, we'll help you.
We do not inherit this earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children.
It is time to transform the forest economy across the rural coastal plain of the South to one that creates greater economic equity and builds climate resiliency within our vulnerable communities.